Ladies and gentlemen, highly spiritual beings are hated the most. The most. It's almost like highly spiritual beings has this touch. They have this extra touch. And not just this extra touch, they have a lot of extra, to be honest. And they just have certain things that regular people do not have. They have a different mindset. They think a lot different. And the way just a lot of other people think it is not anything like a highly spiritual being thinks. Highly spiritual beings are very flexible. It's almost like they can do anything. It's almost like they can do anything you can do better. There's just something about them, man, that has this little extra. And I feel these other regular people, their heads are not on straight. Like, they cannot deal with themselves and their emotions. They can't. They're all over the place. They are not proper. They have all these issues. They have all these problems. And they cannot overcome anything because they are spiritually weak. Highly spiritual beings are highly spiritual beings for a reason. These strongest spirits that walk the face of this planet. And there's a lot more weaker spiritual beings on this planet. Can't overcome anything. They have these problems. They can't get over the hump. Even me, whenever I was younger, I was not nearly on the level that I'm on right now when it comes to how strong my spirit was. I was still physically strong. I was still good at sports. Still good at things like that. But my spirit was weaker. And I truly believe it's because of the people I was forced to be surrounded by at the time. It almost makes you weaker if you were always around weaker people. But you will forever stay strong if you live the way you want to live. You call the shots. You're actually being yourself. You're not being controlled by anybody else. You're not in these environments that is bringing you down, bringing your vibration down in the first place. And for the first time, you actually get to be you. And that is the blessing of life. If you can be you, there's still people that can get off on their own and be independent and still be spiritually weak because they can't overcome certain things. They still have all these bad addictions. They still have this. They still have that. And they're not in control of their own emotions whenever something, like, they'll take things out on other people for no reason. They're just not in control of themselves. They are very weak beings. And they're very argumentative. They can't speak with logic. They can't stay calm and just speak with logic. They cannot do it. Because their logic is fixed. Their logic isn't even logic. It's all a bunch of bullshit. The things they say, it's out of emotion. The things they say is wrong. And it's like they're so far down on the spiritual level that they just can't come out of it. They're older and they still can't do it. I've overcome so much at a young age. I still feel at the age of 18, whenever I was at the lower point of my spirituality, I was still more spiritually strong than a lot of parents, than a lot of people, than a lot of older people. Now, forget it, brother. I'm on a different wavelength altogether. I could be 200-300 years old right now, while everybody still can't even get past the age of 17, 18 years old on a spiritual level. That's where I feel I'm at. And it's funny because I just think, you know, I really am ahead of the game when it comes to a lot of things. And I'm only going to continue to evolve more and more and more. We've never seen the world the way it is and have as much information as we have, and see how younger kids will come into adults with all the information we are given at this age. We've never seen it yet. I really believe that amazing things are in store for the future for a lot of people. The world is going to get better. There's obviously parts of the world that is going to get worse as well, but you can't be thinking that way. You have to have that mindset that you're going to get better and you're going to control what you can control. You can't have this mindset of, oh, these people suck. Oh, there's too many narcissists. Oh, this, oh, that. It doesn't even matter, man. And yeah, we'll expose these people on the channel, but they don't matter. They don't matter at all. We got to understand how to be stronger as human beings and to continue to move forward in life and do our best. It's all we can do. We can only control who we are. We can't control anybody else, nor should we want to. I think a lot of people that want to control other people are not in control of themselves either. I used to be that way. I can admit to things. I can admit to my flaws. But I grew past that stage, which a lot of people have to do. You'll become much more stronger spiritually. You'll overcome so much. You don't need nobody to make you happy. You don't need nobody to make you happy because you know how to make yourself happy. You don't need them. You don't need them. But guess what? They need you because they have yet to do this. They're still spiritually weak. You are spiritually strong. You have that touch. And I don't think people are just planted on this earth to be some alien type of being. I believe everything is in the mind. I believe everybody in this world has potential. I believe if you want certain things bad enough, you will get it. If you want to overcome things bad enough, you will overcome it. But if you have this fixed, egotistical, negative mindset and you think you're just good as you are, but yet you have all these problems, you're never going to change. You will forever be a weak, spiritual human being that wants to act like they know what they're talking about, but really, they don't know at all. And I say this because I know so many people on a day-to-day basis who are like this. And it makes me laugh because you can't tell them nothing. You do not argue with them. You do not say anything with them. You do not get into those conversations with them. You don't talk about anything. If you can cut the conversation short, you cut it short and you get on with your day. There's no telling those people anything. They have a fixed mindset. And they'll never learn. And you have to get away from people like that if you want to grow as a person. Your spirit is very powerful. Even these people that lack spirituality and have weak spirits, they have potential to overcome certain things to get spiritually stronger. And they can do it, but they have to want to do it more than anything else in the world. They have to be willing to drop their ego and to be able to sit their asses down and actually learn and take in the right information and start acting different in the world. You can become a different person. You can start acting like a different person, behaving like a different person anytime you want, and it's not being fake. You're actually changing. You're actually making positive changes in your life. People want to think you're just putting on this character because you're being so different lately. No, you're probably growing as a person. You're probably growing as a person. You probably learned more. You're moving different. You're talking different. You're walking different. You got your swagger back. You got the swagger you should have always had. And this is what it is. More people than not in this world, like I said, they don't have that. They don't have their swagger. Their swagger is lost. They're being something that they're not. And it's clear as day. There's too many of those people out there, and to me, they're exposed. They are not on my level. I doubt they ever will be. They're going to have to want it as much as I wanted it. And all the other highly spiritual beings in this world. Only you know if you're highly spiritual. Only you know. I know I am. Some people might disagree. Some people might say, oh, you're not highly spiritual. Okay. But in my heart, I know I am. And in my heart, I'll see everybody else for what they are, and I will tell them. And that is it. Very highly spiritual people are also very intelligent, clearly. You can't be highly spiritual and not intelligent. They go hand in hand. To be highly spiritual, you have to be intelligent. You have to be. But I actually don't know if every intelligent person in this world is highly spiritual. I don't know if it goes that way, to be honest, because there's some intelligent people in this world, maybe towards school, but when it comes to the spiritual part, when it comes to understanding their own emotions, they might not be intelligent in that category. They might be school smart, but they might have so many issues outside of that. That can be true. But I believe if you are highly spiritual, you are automatically intelligent. Automatically. If you are intelligent, you are not automatically highly spiritual. This is my belief. This is what I believe. This is my opinion. And you guys can think otherwise. You guys can agree with me. It can be whatever. But this is how I see it. And there's certain reasons as to why I see it this way, and I just explained it. But yeah, like I see a lot of flaws. I see a lot of things in other people, and like I really believe too, once you overcome a lot of flaws within yourself, you're going to see a lot of flaws in other people. You're going to see where they could improve. And I'm telling you now, don't go around telling people this. Don't go around trying to fix other people. Just let them be. But you know where you stand. You know where they stand. If you feel the need, and if you're like in a good place where you could give them advice, then maybe do it. But don't just come out of nowhere if you see a flaw in somebody and start to tell them certain things, because you're more than likely just going to offend somebody, and they're not going to listen to you anyway. So it'll be a waste of time. And that is that. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm telling you, being highly spiritual, you will get hated the most. Highly spiritual people are hated the most, bar none. And it's not even a debate. The reason why you're hated is because you do have a higher spirit than a lot of people. If you were on their level, if they could boss you around, if they could bully you around, if they could do what they do to everybody else, because they're all just screwing each other over in a big pile, and they're all fake. That's what they do. They pretend they're friends and stuff like this, but they don't even know who each other are. You know what I mean? They're so underdeveloped. They have no structure to life. I wish I would have known this stuff a lot sooner. Because I used to think I had certain friends that was like brothers, that was like, we'll be friends forever. There's not even a question of a doubt. And I was so wrong because I was so young and didn't see what was coming. It's an amazing thing going through life and going through these awakenings and seeing the truth in so many situations. And like I said, you will be hated when you are highly spiritual the most. Every highly spiritual person is hated the most. They're hated because they cannot be controlled. They're hated because they cannot be manipulated. They're hated because they cannot be played. They're too smart. And these people know deep inside that every highly spiritual being they come across is on a different level. It's on a different wavelength than they are. They know it deep inside. They'll not admit it to you. They'll not tell you that. Their ego, they're just going to get mad. They're not really going to say much to you. It's what they're going to do. And for that, they hate you because they can do this to other people. If they want to manipulate somebody else, they can usually do it. And get over on other people and do all the other crazy shit that they do. And a lot of this stuff happened to me in the past with people. And I was always a person of truth, and whenever I seen truth in any situations, I always grew from it. I always grew from the things that happened to me. So I feel like life is your greatest teacher, and it depends on you how much you want to grow. If you live by the truth, I believe eventually you will become a highly spiritual being. If you really live by truth. If you just say you do but you don't, that's another thing. A lot of people can say whatever they want, but only you know deep down inside your own actions. Only deep down inside you know who you are. And that is it. Nobody has the right to tell you anything. I can't tell you anything. I can get a pretty good read on people, but I don't have the full script. But you do. You know how you think. You know what you've done. You know what you didn't do. You know. And you know what you got to do. Plain and simple. So I'm going to end the video there, but you know, there's a lot of people that also can't understand that, like, when they're becoming better, they think other people's going to treat them better. They think people's going to love them more, and it's not always the truth. Not at all. And usually if you're just getting better and you are in a better situation in life and people start to love you more all of a sudden, it's because they're going to try to use you. And you know what's amazing, guys, is whenever I was younger, I was having success at certain things, and I didn't see at the time that I was being used. And I feel I needed that, because as of right now and in my future, I see it as a blessing, because these people and other people that try to come into my life, they're not going to be able to use me for the things that I get. They're not going to be able to, because I've already been through it. I know what all these things are like. There's no way. It's not going to happen. And when you go through it once, you can learn from it. But the main thing is learning from it. If you don't learn, you're probably very, very, very asleep, and you're not awake at all. If you can learn from everything, you were probably always awake. I feel I was always pretty woke, but there was just certain lessons I needed to learn. Just harder lessons, tougher things, and I did it. So you can do it too. Anybody can do it. You just gotta want it. You gotta want to really get better more than anything in this world. And the better you get, the luckier you get. They call it luck, but honestly, you're just getting better. You're becoming more worthy, and God will hand you over what you are worth when it's all said and done. Bingo bango. I'm out. On to the next video.